Hello guys, in this tutorial we're going to see how to add SSH in GitHub so that we can clone or push and clone private repos. So first of all, I'm going to show you my GitHub account here. This is my GitHub account and I have this repo here which is a private repo. As you can see, it is private repo. I'm going to try to clone this repo in my machine. As you can see, I'm going to use SSH. I'm going to copy the link, then I'm going to come here on my desktop. I'm just going to make a folder. I'm going to call it mkdir temp, and I'm going to cd in temp. After cd in temp, I'm going to try to clone this repo. Git clone. It is a private repo. I'm going to try and clone it. As you can see, error repository not found, could not read from remote repository. Make sure you have the correct access rights and the repository exists. The problem is that we don't have the right to clone that repo because it is a private repo. So to solve that problem, we have to add a SSH key to our GitHub. We have to create SSH key here and add it to our GitHub account. So to create SSH key, we are going to leave this one. I'm going to add another terminal here, and I'm going to cd into root tilde /SSH. I'm going to cd in that folder, as you can see, like that. ls. As you can see, I have some SSH keys here, but I'm going to generate another SSH key. I'm going to generate another SSH key. I'm going to type SSH key gen, just like that, and it's going to ask me what name I want to give it to this key. If you don't give the name, it is going to replace this one here, which I already have, ID eraser. I don't want to replace it. I'm going to give another name. I'm just going to say test, just like that. If you want to enter a passphrase, you can enter. I don't want any passphrase. I'm going to skip that, and my test key was created. As you can see, I have test, which is the private key, and I have test.pub, which is the public key. So if you want to see that in the folder, you can just go to your folders here, go to C drive, check your C drive, and go to users, and go to your user and search for SSH. As you can see, SSH is here, and if I check, I can find my test key and my public key are here. If you want to open it from here, you can open it with Notepad or with Visual Studio Code or Notepad, as you wish. I can just open it with Visual Studio Code like this, or I can open it with Notepad and copy. But if you want to copy it from terminal, you just copy it from here like this. You just say cut, and we have, which is test. As you can see, test.pub. I'm going to say test.pub. It is going to cut for us our file, and we're going to copy that. Make sure you copy it from SSH here up to the name, up to here. Copy that. After copying that, go to our GitHub account. This is our GitHub account. You just click on this one here. You just click on here. Click on your profile. Go to settings. After going to settings, you search for SSH and GPG keys. You click here, new SSH key. We're going to paste that public key. Make sure you paste the public key, not the private key. The private key, don't show it to anyone. After pasting the public key here, and we are going to give it a name. You can give it any name. I'm going to call it test. I'm going to add that key. After adding the key, I will go back to our terminal here, and I'm going to try to clone again. I'm going to say, I'm going to go up, search for that command that we we made last, the command that we tried to clone. But if we clone like right now like that, it is still not going to clone. As you can see, we are not able to clone. So if you want to clone, we have to provide to Git to find the key. How to provide the key? We can do it from here if you want, but I'm not going to do it from here. I'm going to do it from the UI. We go to C drive, open the C drive, go to users, go to SSH, where we have our SSH. As you can see here, config file. If you don't have config file, you just create a config file. You just create a file here, just like this, new. You call it file, but make sure you write it config, and you remove the extension, the .txt. You remove it like that, and you write config just like that. But I don't want this file. I'm going to delete it. So just like this one here, after writing config, I'm going to open it with Visual Studio Code. As you can see, I already have some configs there. I'm going just to copy this config, duplicate it, and I'm going to change. Here, this is for GitHub, but here I'm going to GitLab. I'm going to change it to GitHub, just like this. GitHub. Here also, the host is GitHub, and the host name is GitHub. GitHub, and the key, the key that we are going to use, it is this one here, the test, which is test. You just come here, change this one here to test, just like that. Close. You save and close. After that, this time if we go to our terminal and try to clone, this time we're going to be successful to clone that. As you can see, it was successful to clone. So guys, this is how we add SSH key in GitHub, so that we can use SSH, we can clone and push to a private repo in the GitHub.